Fog Entertainment back with another Sons of Anarchy review.
It's Taylor Tuesday.
It's Taylor Tuesday, 9 PM on the button. Before we kick off with the review, we have to do 3 facts about this episode. In the first fact, we've got the first and last appearance of Emily Duncan. Thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, obviously she's a character that kind of just has like a one and out, just appears, then kind of disappears, and we never see her again.
Maybe Skeeter killed her and threw her in the bonfire.
Well, I mean, that's fucking very true. But I just found it a bit weird how like everyone in the club was like marking out over this woman as if like fucking prime Stacey Keebler. Is that a good reference to use? I don't know. So prime Tori Wilson just walked in, and in reality she ain't really all that. So I don't know. I just thought it was weird.
Yeah, it was weird. It was very weird.
They made it as if she was like the greatest thing to ever grace the earth, and she was like, meh.
Yeah, I didn't get the hype either.
Gemma's more attractive, like probably fucking looks
20 years on her.
Aye.
But next up, talk about attractive with Jackie Boys white trainers. What an attraction these bad boys are.
These are iconic. For some reason he didn't wear them in the first episode. I don't think he wears them in the last episode, but god damn it, he wears them in every other episode.
Well, that's quite fitting that he wears them
first and last.
In between.
Yeah, it's amazing how throughout the entire series he doesn't seem to get them dirty. Apart
from when he kills someone in the penultimate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, there you go.
There you go. And the final fact is we have the first non-club kill, and it is by a civilian. So it's a
non-club / civilian club. Yeah. Basically, the first person to die from the hands of a person that is not affiliated to a club, and it is some arsehole who basically ran Jackie Boy, off the road, and he gets into a fight with Jax in this like garage, and then the shopkeeper comes up from behind with an axe and just plows it right into the back of his head for, "You're destroying my shop!"
So here's an axe to your melon.
You destroy my shop, I destroy the back of your head. And on that note, let's move in to the review.
So it's time to dive into Seed, so let's review it, and we kick it off with the introduction of Davy Hale, Captain America. The bee in his bonnet. He's living in 1969 as Clay keeps on putting it. Initial thoughts of Hale as he rides in his Jeep.
Is he really living in 1969 or whatever Clay said? Because he says David Hale's always talking about how Charman's in the past, and he wants to bring it to like the new heights and stuff like that. David Hale would
capitalism,
but David Hale would argue that the Sons and Clay are living in the past and holding the city back.
See, if you think of it, the Sons are kind of wanting to live kind of under communist rule. It's not really capitalist. Because what's his name, Agent Cone arrives, he actually says that I haven't seen a Starbucks here for miles, referring to like there is no businesses, which is the way it is. It's just charming. It's a small town. SAMCRO have kept it that way. SAMCRO are communists. How about those apples?
Are they really communists?
Nah, they're more like anarchists. You get me?
No, I don't.
Alright, you don't get me. Anyway, Davy Hale, he gets me. He's a man that gets me. He wears that badge of honor, man. He's there. He arrives at the warehouse explosion.
I just don't see how outside businesses not wanting to open up in Charming because of the Sons of Anarchy. I don't see that makes them communists. Like
they definitely lean more towards the communist side than capitalism.
I totally disagree. Give me an analogy or an example or something to back that claim.
Well, they're happy keeping Charming in the past and backward and not really fruitful with money while they themselves can get rich off it, which is communism to a T.
But you just say that Clay is accusing David Hale of living in the past.
Right, but...
And then Jackson's quoting the Constitution and stuff, saying we're all free men. So that doesn't really sound like communism to me.
Capitalism is more than free men.
Can you just admit here you've had a blunder and we'll move on with the episode review?
I disagree. I don't think Clay and Piney and JT know what they were fighting for in Vietnam.
You know what? I think we'll put a poll up and we will ask did the club lean more towards communism or capitalism? And we'll see. And I think about how many percentage of our viewers don't have brain cells? Let's say 10% don't have brain cells. I think we'll be 90% capitalism. There you go.
Oh, well,
even then, half the ones... I mean, if you take the 10% that don't have brain cells, half of them probably will vote for capitalism anyway. So, I mean, 50-50 chance of winning. I'll go 95%. Anyway, let's move on with the review.
Yes, let's move on. Hale arrives at the warehouse location. Trammel's trying to get rid of the bodies, but as Hale arrives, he basically says that this is part of my investigation because one of the warehouse...
Trammell says, nah, this is outside your jurisdiction, and Hale's like, well, actually, you see, this guy, he was found with 3 bullets in his back, 2 meters inside my jurisdiction.
1 inch inside a chart.
So that means he's part of my murder investigation. And then he hands Trammell a piece of paper. He goes, here's a warrant if you've ever seen one. And he kind of just buried Trammell here, didn't he?
That was a very good line. I like that. Trammell was put in his place.
Yeah, that could have been that could be the quote of the episode.
It might be. You have to check out later if that's going to be the quote of the episode. But, you know, you never really know. But Jax at this point... Not Jax. Hale at this point, when they're looking into the warehouse, he opens it. And what do we see? He discovers the bodies.
Lots of bullets here.
Lots of... They were like recording it on like a really pish webcam.
Yeah, then they find the bodies, so... yeah, a lot of shit going down.
It was a really cool visual of like the trap door getting slammed.
Yeah, it did seem like a horror movie. Then we get running through this world, down, all alone, down. Unfortunately, we would like to have our own wee sort of intro, but you don't want to copyright it, man, so we have to sing the tune ourselves.
That's pretty much it. Tig then says to Clay. Clay's kind of wondering why Tig's acting weird, then he does question it, and Tig reveals that he was sleeping with both the Mexicans, and then Clay kind of puts 2 and 2 together that, oh fuck, we could be in big shit here. The guns could be getting taken from our grasp.
Clay's not happy about this. Clay says, tell me one of them doesn't have a belly full of Tiggy juice, and Tig says, I'm afraid they both do. Clay's not happy. Tig's like, yeah, don't worry about it. He's like, what are you talking about? You know, and Tig says he's going to sort it out. Clay says, you can't just like walk out of there with 2 dead Mexican whores over your shoulder.
Good line, brilliant line.
Tig says that he will sneak in at night, he will gut their bodies and fill it full of bleach, and he's like got a smile on his face while he's saying this. Then Clay says to him, what kind of sick shit did your mother do to you? And Tig's like, what are you talking about? Said Clay's the man. Fucking Clay Morrow.
It is the man, but like if Tig's gonna go through all the effort of gutting them and bleaching them, may as well just fucking...
I was going to say Clay for president, but he already has president, so fuck it.
Well, definitely not Ron for president.
No, definitely not Ron, no.
Clay can do it, but...
You want communism? Ron Perlman will give you communism. Anyway, right, we move on with...
Clay goes to speak to Unser. This is Unser's introduction. Basically, we get like a quick wee talk between them. Again, introduction to Unser and the fact that we've been doing business for many years, Clay. Unser basically reveals that since the cancer, he's got 1 foot out the door.
Yeah, he's been forced out of his job, essentially, by his doctor and his wife. He kind of tells Clay that there's nothing he can do about Hale, and that Hale's going to be the deputy soon enough, and that Hale just wants to basically take down SAMCRO. Clay isn't really happy about this, but Unser says there's nothing he can do. But Unser says, look, we've been working together for a long time, there's no need for us to end our business. He has a protection run for Clay tonight, and Clay tells Unser, yeah, don't worry, we'll make sure that your goods get to their destination. And yeah, we'll leave that at there for now. But like you said, first appearance of Unser in the opening scene. We got the first appearance of Hall.
Hale. Hall.
Scott Hall.
Daniel.
I think it's good actually they didn't introduce these two guys in the first, because I feel like enough happened in the premiere. I think if you introduce all the characters in the premiere, like it can kind of like get overshadowed.
Yeah.
I think enough happened in the premiere for you not to. I think they've done a good job introducing them. I like the way it was done. I think it made them stand out more getting introduced in episode 2 than it would have if they got introduced in episode 1. Because episode 1 was more about getting the guns back and getting retribution, a retaliation against the Mayans, you know. Whereas episode 2 is more like the kind of blowback from the authority side. So I just think if you had Hale and Unser in episode 1, they would have just kind of been pushed in, and I think it would have just been too crowded.
It would have definitely been a bit crammed. And speaking of Hale, he catches up with Jax, basically says to him about that he's found the warehouse. There was automotive parts, man, guns, all that good shit. And then Jax is like, out of your jurisdiction, ain't it, Hale? Then drives off. And I'm thinking at this point, what if Jax just drove off and Hale never got to say his bit?
That's right. So Hale just puts the foot down and catches up to Jax. It was a bit weird. Like, Hale's like just trying to stay alongside Jax.
I will not look the other way, Jax.
Yeah, he's constantly looking two ways here while trying to drive. He's trying to look forward.
This is not dangerous driving.
But it is. I mean, I think Jack's could have pulled him over here and been like, what you doing, mate? Get both eyes on the road.
License and registration, please.
Jack then tells him, you can look every way you want. It's a free country. We're all protected under the Constitution. We ain't communists, Hale.
Yeah, we're capitalist guys, brother. Jack then visits the hospital. Tara says that Abel's going to be alright, man. He's going to make a full recovery and that Wendy... It's going through detox here, but she'll be unconscious for a couple of more days. Then we get a pretty funny scene moment. Maybe not initially with Opie here, but we see him and Donna struggling at home and that they're behind in their car payments and everything. And then Donna suggests that she's going to get a weekend job. Why don't you get a week job? Why don't you just get a job?
Does she not have a week job now?
Where? I don't think she does.
I'm not saying she does.
I don't think she does.
Maybe she... I'm just saying maybe she does have a week job and she's wanting to pick up extra.
Maybe she does, and that's why she calls it a weekend job. But I kind of got from that is, well, the kids are, they're getting looked after at the weekend sort of deal. I'll do it. Well, it's during the week. But then again, it's kind of like if they're at school, why can't you work?
Who's looking after them? Fucking Uncle Piney? Or Grandad Piney?
Opie. Maybe the sawmill's over.
Pish Piney?
But you know what? Like, Donna, why wouldn't she get the job?
I don't know. Well, I guess it's the man's job.
It would be extremely hypocritical for her to have a problem with Opie going to the club to get money when she's not even willing to do a day's work.
Well, I guess she is willing to do days. She said she'll get a weekend job.
It's all good talk. A good game, you deliver on that. Does she even get the weekend job?
No. I don't remember ever working like that.
Exactly, neither did I, man. But, Opie visits Piney, Piney's just in the middle of the street. I don't even know what he was doing.
I don't know what Piney was doing.
And then he's like, we're behind on our payments, man.
Opie wants to ask him for money, but before he can even do it, Piney shuts him down. He's like,
nope.
You're going to ask me for money, I ain't got any.
He tells Opie about the protection run the night, and then Opie's like, I'm Clay's shit list.
Clay's shit list.
How about you grow a dick? And go and make some money. Make it right.
Well, first of all, he said, yeah, well, he does, but I mean, he kind of tells him, like, go and sort it out with him, and he's like, nah, maybe not.
Yeah, I don't like. Why doesn't Opie just go, you know what? Aye, we'll do that.
Maybe he doesn't feel like maybe he feels like that's getting him deeper into the club, and he's not really allowed to get deeper. He's not really allowed.
He's fucking 6'6", Opie. He can do what he wants.
Do what he wants if he wants. Opie could fucking walk in, bitch slap Clay and throw him at the window, then just sit down in
He pretty much does that soon, but...
the president's chair, I mean... Opie can... Hold on, imagine Opie walks into the Mayans clubhouse and he says to Bishop, here, I want that seat, I want the gavel. What's Bishop going to do? No, mate. Square go.
Bite on his ankles, man. I don't know what Bishop's going to do, but I talk my Clay... We're talking here...
Like a fucking chihuahua versus a Great Dane or something.
Aye, Great Dane. We're at Chapel. Clay says that they should murder a few members of the Nords. Tig's like, yeah, man, we gotta send a message to Darby. Basically to get Hale off the case and
so
create more murders.
They need to create
more heat.
They need to create another murder so they can get Hale's attention off the murder scene that they need to go and dispose of the bodies for. All to protect Tig. Tig doesn't need to be asked twice to kill. He's basically halfway at the door here.
I know, and then Jack's like, whoa, what if we could do this without spilling blood? It's just so much more effort, in my opinion. Going to this guy.
Yeah, but like Jack says, he points at a sign up in the clubhouse, in the chapel. Brains before bullets. And I actually agree with Jack. I think Jack's in the right here.
No, I think they're kind of both in the right, because yeah, the other one's risky, but you do send a message to Darby and you kill a few of his guys.
So they've already killed one of his guys?
Kill a few more.
Okay. Is that not enough of a message though? You might
one guy?
You might kill me and then that could... Darby's already in collusions with the Mayans.
Exactly. That's why... but Tig was right. He's like, they're in collusion. We've got to stop this Woodback White Alliance now.
Yeah, so they want to start a full-out fucking war just because Tig had sex with a couple of bloody immigrants? I think Jack's in the right here.
Jack's in the right? Oh, I'd say it's one of the few times Tig could half be in the right early on in the show. any other time he just wants to kill anyone for the sake of it. But here, kind of the same. Chibs is kind of just stuck in no man's land here. He kind of agrees with Jax, but he's no idea what he's saying.
I agree with you, Jackie boy, but
Dollars for cadavers, aye?
what you saying here, Jax?
Jackie boy, but yeah, they go to Skeeter. And then Skeeter gives them a few bodies in exchange for money, but he doesn't want the money because he's no...
I gave up the gambling ponies a long time ago. Gambling Anonymous. So it turns out he doesn't want it. Jax is like, well, what do you want?
Some old woman.
So Skeeter he basically wants to have sex with some Emily Duncan. Now, you might think Emily Duncan's some supermodel, and by the way he was going on about it, that's what I thought. I believe it's Juice asked Chibs who Emily Duncan is. Chibs describes her as 130 pounds of giggity something, like riding some... I can't forget but then she turns up, right? And first of all, like, she's not that attractive, right?
But I find it ironic that she says, I'm not a whore. But
the only reason she'll sleep with this guy is the fucking Jax sleeps with her, and it's like, what? I mean, I guess you could argue her wanting to sleep with Jax doesn't make her a whore, but I mean...
Yeah, but she's like a crew eater, which is like a prostitute, essentially, for the club, so I mean, you may as well fucking be.
But yeah, my point was, right, I just didn't think she was all that attractive, and she looked fucking old, right? I mean, it is what it is. I'm sorry, it is what it is. See when you see, like, a couple of episodes later on, you see them visiting the Tribal's chiefs, like, and they've got all these like
the Tribal Chiefs, the Devil's Tribe, you dick. Is Roman Reigns fucking there? I mean, the Tribal Chiefs, fucking, what, the Universal Champion, fucking Jerry White. You know, what the fuck are you watching?
my point was, when they go to Jury's gaff in a few episodes time, the fucking women there are a lot fucking younger and hotter than Emily Duncan. It's just weird, right? She looked like a middle-aged person, and she just didn't look that hot, man. And she had like fucking, I don't know, like scars or something, or stretch marks or some shit like that. And that's not me burying people. But I'm just being honest. Like, I think when you think of crew eaters, you think of like women that are like in their early 20s and stuff with like super hot bodies, like, and she didn't fit the bill, in my opinion.
Yeah, not the Tribal Chief then, no, for Emily Duncan.
No, definitely not the Tribal Chief. I don't think she's not the one. We're the ones. No, she's definitely not the one. But just my point being is, see when they've got Cara running up and stuff like that, I remember like, the triads are coming in, we need to get girls for them and stuff. I think she would look at a place standing next to like Lila.
Aye, she would.
Who had like a fucking, looked like a supermodel, whereas in my opinion, Emily Duncan looks like someone's 40-year-old mum.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Is that fair?
If you told me she was half sex mum, I'd fucking believe it.
Aye. But we're supposed to believe that like she went to fucking school with half sex or something, you know? Like,
but next up, Darby, he meets with Alvarez. They discuss tactics here. What a racial...
But we love feminism on this channel, and all women are beautiful, so with that said, moving on.
That's pretty much it, but we get a lot of racial slurs here between them. The whitebacks.
The wetbacks, mate. You call them the whitebacks?
Yeah, the whitebacks. The wetbacks. Bro.
Yes, wetbacks.
But basically, right, see at this point, yeah, Alvarez is kind of in bed with Darby because he got intel, but realistically, Alvarez could have just told Darby here, mate, I fucking wipe you and your Nazi alliance off.
I don't like, why
does this feel like Darby's in control of this situation when it's not?
I mean, Darby's got about 2 men. Fucking Alvarez has got a fucking whole country. He could just be like, like, Darby, it's time for you to go good night, you're racist.
I mean, Alvarez disagrees with everything he says. He's like, but I'll give you some extra muscle to protect the drug dealing. But it's like, what? Come on. And then Darby walks away and he's wondering where the Suburbans went. I'll tell you where the Suburbans went. Jackie Boy, Chibs, and
Jackie Boy.
They've all hoovered it. And then Tara and Gemma talk at the hospital. Tara basically implies that Gemma gave Wendy the drugs. And so what? And then she's like, I'll tell Jax. It's like, so even I'm not saying Jax would be happy, but even, I don't know, would Jax really give a fuck at this point?
Probably not. Like, I mean,
Fuck, fast forward a wee bit on, man. He's the one injecting into Wendy, so I don't think Jackie Boy gives a damn, brother. But yeah, then we get the fake shootout set up between Jax, Chibs, and the gang, Juice and all. And I feel like, I don't know, did this not seem like it just took forever? Like, they set it up, then they get into the chase with, like, the guys, and then the police officer pulls them over, then they escape. Run, you faggots. And then they actually set it up. It's like, I feel like it just...
We haven't discussed the police chase yet.
What, the police chase? There's not much. That's what I'm saying. It's all in this sequence.
So basically they get pulled over because they've got a headlight or something, or?
Because the joyrider went past me, smack. Oh, made me spill my beer.
But obviously, Jax and Chibs are driving the car with the dead body in it.
Yeah.
So they're kind of fucked. And the police looks in the back, so you get Juice and Halfsack out, and they start kicking the police officer's car. Then Jax and Chibs, they're 180 and then are driving down and open the back door for those two to jump into. They do jump into. Then the police officer starts shooting at them, which I thought was a bit weird. When a police officer could have just killed them there.
Oh.
And are they really posing such a threat where you could justify shooting them?
Racism, but again, this was, I think, yeah, Jax, you may have thought you came up with a better plan, but was this not sloppy from them? Like, could have been fucking caught here with dead bodies in the back. They didn't even kill.
True, but I mean, what if they were actually committing a murder? Like, then that would have been a bit worse.
Oh, well, maybe, but later on that night, Jax and Chibs spot the cars and they're like, we're going to pay these guys a visit. Chibs then goes in, gets rid of the CCTV. Jax then punches the guy, batters him, and he's like, that'll teach you to ever cut me off again, dickhead. And then the guy gets up, whips out his gun. At this point, Jax hits the deck. Chibs then falls over a woman. The Pakistani shopkeeper falls over as well.
You destroy my shop! My shop!
My shop!
Then the guy pulls the gun out on Jax. He's about to shoot Jax. Jax is about to die. The main character of the series is about to die. It's all over. But then no, the joyrider, the guy in the fast car gets an axe to the back of the head. And he's pretty dead here. He's the only death of this episode as well. So yeah, just a wee fact there.
Seemed a bit extreme.
Yeah, to me, it almost felt like this was in it just to have a death.
Yeah,
I don't think this was. I don't actually like this scene at all. I thought it was very unnecessary.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't a fan of it, like, but I wouldn't say it was a fucking horrendous.
No, but I feel like sometimes they do things to like. It's like, you know, that time where I don't want to spoil what happens a couple of episodes later, but you know when Jax hits that guy that was on his bike with his helmet.
Yeah.
The before and after shot. That makes sense to me. Plus, it's also, you know, to try and take that girl to the clubhouse or whatever. But I thought that wasn't really needed.
Yeah, it did feel a wee bit extra, so to speak.
I mean, you could have. I don't think you could have had it. I just don't. I think the death. I think it's a bit sensationalized. Like, I mean, axe to the back of the head. I don't think it was called for. It seemed over.
I imagine you're filling up petrol with some guys. I mean, this happens.
It just seemed too extreme for me. And another thing I've got to question is what happens when people get into fights in America, right? Say half the people are concealed carry. Can you not get... If you get into an argument with someone in America, like, they're just going to pull a gun out on you. Or if you get, like, into a fight... I know punches can kill people. I totally get that. But, like, see in America, like, if someone punches you and they're winning the fight, are you just automatically going to pull the gun out and argue self-defense? It's like... Do you not think it just seems very flawed for someone to get shot dead?
Yeah.
Like, what actually happens? Like, do people that get... I just can't imagine someone getting into a fight.
If you get punched 5 times for a response and punch, you know, you're not entitled to pull out your gun if you genuinely feel that you're about to die.
But that's what I mean. So is there such thing in America as a square go?
I don't think there is. I think America's an absolute mess. Bye. That's it for this scene. Weren't really a fan of it. Opie joins up with the rest of SAMCRO for his protection. When we get the introduction of Jimmy Kakuza, we won't see this guy again till season 5. Because I'm the man. I remember stuff like that. Yeah, of course we've got iPods and other Blu-rays and shit in the back of this truck. And then they're talking percentages after it gets hijacked, which obviously the driver's not too happy about.
So you mean too happy about, mate? He's fucking locked up in the back of the van. We're not going to talk about fucking Clay, you know, putting his armour in Opie. Oh, how are you feeling, Opie? That's a good boy, Opie.
Let's talk about it then.
Let's talk about it then.
Let's put it on the table.
Let's go.
Money problems, Opie. Well, this one's going to make you rich.
And how do you feel about being away from 5 years? Some guys, you know, let that shit eat them up. Opie's like, I'm good.
Good boy.
Good boy. And then...
Wait, he's not happy about the percentage split here at the end.
No, he's definitely not. Like,
Jimmy Cuckoos is like 50-50, Sam Crow and the Italians.
Let's be real. After
90-10, bro.
After that wee conversation Clay had with it, I mean, he could have gave that 40% to Opie. I know you're struggling here, Opie. You did time for the club. But I know it'd been a nice thing to do.
I know. But of course Clay's just doing this for the simple fact that, oh, well, this will get him
By
on
the way,
board.
Kakusa, the guns are going to be a little late. So see that 40% I'm letting you keep is actually like a down payment.
I know.
Essentially. But, I mean, Clay just tries to twist everyone on his fingers like it's great. Also, there was like a scene before this where Clay redirects the truck driver, tells him the route he's going to go. The truck driver's like, are you sure we should go this way? And Clay says, damn, you sound like my old woman. My old lady.
You sound like my wife. And then we get...
Emily Duncan would make a good old lady. Because she looks fucking old.
Whoa, right, I think fucking let's stop burying the woman, right?
Yeah, she's a good character, I like her.
She's fucking pish.
You said stop burying her?
Aye, but there's no need to kiss her ass when she's shit.
Okay.
But anyway, Unser then is fuming at Clay. Clay's like, oh, it's alright, you're safe, Unser, because you're going to do 6 months more in the job. And rebuild Sam Crow with us, brother. And yeah, that's Unser kind of humped here. Already, basically in the episode he's introduced, you kind of see that Unser's already under Clay's thumb, isn't he? Like,
yeah.
Like, it's just no way out. There's no easy way out.
Then we see Unser's getting a haircut. Hale's not happy, goes and confronts him. The guy, I mean, it was weird. See that the barber, he stops cutting Unser's hair. There wasn't there much cut, but he stops
Floyd?
Floyd stops cutting his hair. And then he literally moves like a couple of feet away. And he does this, it's almost as if he's trying to give Hale and Unser privacy. Yeah, he's literally moved fucking 2 feet away and can hear everything. It was just
that boy needs a hot shave.
Then Hall's like, okay, you can't do this to me. Then Unser's like, Hall's like, what do you think you're doing? And Unser's like, I'm getting a haircut.
I know.
Fucking dry, sarcastic bastard.
I'll make that badge a paperweight. Understand?
Yeah, then Unser's threatens to take away his badge, which I'm pretty sure you can't do. You just can't have an argument with somebody.
I don't know. Charmin's pretty corrupt. Like, I feel like he probably could.
You think so?
Yeah.
So you're basically saying for Hale to stay as deputy chief, he would need to kiss Unser's ass.
Of course, he can't just get rid of him, like, but
you said he can. Make up your mind.
I was saying Charmin's pretty.
Here's
corrupt.
a theory, Fid. What if Unser replaced deputy Hale with I don't know, travel or something? Fucking
Corruption runs forever. Donna is then buying.
Donna's looking a job.
No, fuck you.
Donna, deputy.
Yeah, alright, man. But she's at the supermarket buying.
Or Opie, because he's leaning
right,
these days.
Well, Donna's leaning fucking into the supermarket, right? And she doesn't have enough
Donna's
money.
leaning into the red because her check's just bounced.
Yeah, and then Gemma spots this and then buys the stuff for her, gives it to Donna, and Donna's like, I don't want your charity. He's like, but we're one big family, Donna. And Donna's just like,
I married Opie, not the club.
right, I get that logic,
fair
Donna.
play, I think.
I get it, right? But just fucking take the stuff.
Now, see if she married Opie when he wasn't in the club, I would say fair play to her. But if she married Opie while he was in the club, then she kind of knew what lifestyle she was getting into. It's the same. It's the same with Tara. To be fair, don't really want to spoil anything, but I don't think you can get involved and then later on, when you already know the circumstances before when you got involved. So I mean, you asked for that really.
Yeah, I know you can't. You really can't, like.
So it'd be like getting involved in, I don't know, drugs or something, and then.
But the fact Opie was a prospect with
kneecap.
Jax would say to me that she didn't marry him before the club.
No, yeah. So I'd say she
It's
knew
her
what
fault.
yeah.
Fuck her.
Right. Okay.
Gemma then offers her over for dinner and was like, "Don't say anything. Be there or be square, brother." Tig and Bobby then remove the corpses and then they take them to the furnace and then we get.
Well, hold on. Yeah, I mean, Opie and Jax are childhood friends.
Yeah.
And Jax was involved in the club. Therefore, I'm going to assume Opie was involved in the club. And I'm pretty sure...
They became prospects the same year.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure they talk about how it's like, they've always wanted to lead the club or whatever from when they were younger.
So why is it... Right, well, if that is the case, then why is Opie half in, half out? He should be completely in.
Unless Donna married Opie when they were like 8, I think she knew she was fully aware of the fact that Opie is involved in the club.
Yeah.
So therefore, I'm not saying on the paper she didn't marry the club, but at the same time, she knows how the club kind of works. Therefore, just fucking accept the invite to dinner. But no, she doesn't do that. She doesn't accept the invite to dinner. Instead, she
Yeah,
goes
the
home and
scene at dinner.
she decides to cook her own, or she cooks her own shitey dinner.
But Opie didn't even know.
Yeah, Opie probably wasn't told, but I feel sorry for Opie here, right? Because he looks so depressed at the table, and he's eating a shite dinner cooked by a shite character. I mean, well, you cut to Gemma's house, like, and they've got this big fucking feast going, and everyone's happy. You've got the theme song playing in the background. You've got Clay.
It's the only one.
Clay's at the top of the table. He's at the top of the table in church, and he's at the top of the table in his own house.
Wow.
And Bobby's like, "Oh, pass the fucking corn on the cob, Jackson. Don't cut me off." But before that, we get
rid of the bodies.
Yeah,
man.
we get a furnace scene where they're just they're burning the bodies. It was kind of weird this scene because Jax was at the back, kind of like just blending in. Normally he's always at the front.
Yeah, Tig was kind of cutting a promo, and then it was just said, "Any Bible passages for lost seamen or something?" Then like Jax like slapped him as if like, "Oh, that's disrespectful." No, it was Jax.
It was Chibs, mate.
Jax definitely was the one that slapped him.
You wanna bet this?
I'm betting my top rocker.
Oh, you bet your
right.
deputy chief badge?
Yes. No, but like, why is Jax slapping him as if, well, that's such a distasteful thing to say? There were two fucking bums that no one cared about.
Oh, hold on here. How much have they buried them? What did they talk about hookers and all this shit? How much have they made fun of them this episode?
I know.
About them being dead and shit?
Exactly.
Like fucking Bobby. Oh, I hope they look better than this when they blowed you.
Yeah. I mean, exactly. Kinda. And that's how the episode ends, with the dinner.
Yeah, we're gonna get the song. Preacher Man. Actually sung by Katie Sagal, if anyone knows.
There's another fact for you. But we have to rate this episode out of 10.
I mean, it's the second episode, right? I think if you look at TV shows, normally second episodes aren't as good as the premiere because they go all out in the premiere. I didn't feel like it's like a great episode. I thought it was okay. It was good. I liked it. But to me, it was nowhere near the first. I'm going to get a 7 out of 10.
I'll give a 7 too. A good introduction for every character introduced, and it progressed the story nicely. And now into the quote of the episode part of the review. We've got Half Sack saying, "Jesus, not only do you smell, but you're a fat bastard." And there was a lot of good lines, but I felt like this was one that took the cherry. He was in the grave, he was digging. It was good. I liked it.
It was just the fact that he opens up. He knows he needs to lift this guy out the grave. He opens it up and he just sees a big fat bastard, and it's like, damn it, I need to get this guy out of here. It's like, Jesus, not only do you smell, but you're a fat bastard.
Again, that kind of goes back to the fact with Jax. It's like all this daylight, grave robbing shit. It's like, come on, man. It was a risk not worth taking. Just drop a couple of the Nords.
I disagree, but...
You disagree? Well, that's what we don't disagree with. MVP of the episode. Montu. It was Half Sack. So Clay won, Half Sack won. Why was this guy MVP? Because he stepped up to the task.
He had the quote of the episode for me, so aye.
Yeah, he had the quote of the episode for me, and he worked together rather well with Chibs and Jackson. He had some funny lines with Juice. So that's why Half Sack is MVP of the episode. Will he get any more? He's only in 26 episodes, and even then, he's probably not even in all of them. Spoiler alert. But anyway, closing thoughts on episode 2. Here, Teller Tuesdays at an end.
It certainly wasn't as good as Tomorrow Mondays, but who knows? Next week could fire back episode 4. Who knows?
And until then, episode 4.
Next Teller Tuesdays, episode 4.
It's all about episode 3, mate.
Yeah, but honestly,
We're not competing against each other. It's just 2 different days. Monday night Morrow. Tuesday night Teller.
Yep, that's the one. Yeah, till next time. Peace.